Private jets, safari proposals, luxury villas in Zanzibar. From the outside, this looked like everything a woman could dream of. She was living in full color, posting her life, building her brand, celebrating love in one of the most breathtaking places on earth. And somebody left a comment on her Instagram page weeks before she died that said, "He is going to harm you. Get out." She never responded. And now, her family is waiting for answers that nobody seems willing to give them. Welcome to Celeb Blindspot, the stories they don't want you to know. Ashlee Jenae, born Ashley Robinson, was the kind of woman you do not forget. She was born on April 5, 1995, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and grew up between Philly and the New Jersey area. She was bright, ambitious, and had the kind of energy that pulled people toward her without even trying. But the real turning point in her life came from a spontaneous decision. Her best friend had just landed a gig in Miami and needed company for the drive down. Ashley agreed, no real plan in mind, just riding along for the trip. Her flight back home was already booked for that Monday, but by Wednesday, she had a job. So she went back to Jersey, packed her things, and never looked back. Just like that, Miami became home. And Miami suited her. She had the look, she had the energy, and she had the drive to match. She started modeling, worked her way into the industry, and eventually appeared in Drake's music video for Falling Back in 2022. That is not an accident. That is a woman who worked for what she had. She also ran brand collaborations, maintained an Amazon influencer shop, and built a loyal following on Instagram under the handle Ashlee Jenae, where she had amassed over 70,000 followers. Her content was centered around what she called the soft life, a philosophy focused on ease, luxury, beauty, travel, and living on your own terms. She was not just an influencer. She was building something real. By the time she was in her early 30s, Ashley had become a full-time content creator and lifestyle influencer. She had an Instagram presence that people genuinely followed, not for drama, not for shock value, but because her life looked like the kind of story young women screenshot and save on their phones. She represented something aspirational, but still relatable. She was living proof that betting on yourself could actually pay off. Now let us talk about the man she was with, Joe McCann. Let me tell you something about this man, because his background matters to this story. Joe McCann is the founder, CEO, and chief investment officer of a company called Asymmetric Financial. It is a modern cryptocurrency fund. The name alone tells you something. Asymmetric. It refers to a situation where one side holds more information than the other. More knowledge, more power, more control. On paper, Joe McCann was impressive. Over 24 years of experience spanning Wall Street and Silicon Valley. He previously served as a senior director at Microsoft in the Cloud and AI division. Before that, he ran quantitative and systematic trading for cryptocurrencies at Passport Capital, a San Francisco-based hedge fund. He was also the co-founder and CEO of NodeSource, a tech company that exited in 2019. His fund, Asymmetric, was backed by some of the biggest names in tech and venture capital, including Mark Andreessen, Chris Dixon, and Circle Inc. In 2024, Prakin named his Liquid Alpha Fund the #1 performing hedge fund globally, not just in crypto, but across every asset class on the planet. This was a man with resources, with access, with connections. But here is the other side of that resume. By mid-2025, things had shifted. His flagship Liquid Alpha Fund suffered a massive 78% drawdown, and McCann was forced to shut it down entirely. He publicly acknowledged the poor performance and pivoted toward longer-term investments and a new Solana-focused venture. So beneath the polished exterior and the Forbes mentions, this was also a man under financial pressure. At some point, Joe McCann and Ashlee Jenae found each other. They had been together for roughly a year and a half before this trip. Ashley had him on her Instagram, photos together, captions, the kind of presence that says, "This is my person." But here is what people started noticing when they went back and looked at things more carefully. Joe never posted her, not once. While she had him all over her page, he never acknowledged her on his. Not a single post, not a mention, not even a comment. Make that make sense. And then there were the comments. Look at the comments on her posts. People had been leaving warnings for months. One comment, posted roughly 5 months before she died, on a photo of the two of them from November 2025, said exactly this: "He is going to harm you. Get out." Other followers noticed things too. They pointed out what they described as angry stares from McCann in photos. One commenter wrote, "If you have a spiritual eye, you would look at the picture and you would notice right away. How sad." Another one said he hated her. "Look at how he is looking at her." Now, were those people prophets? Probably not. Comments like that float around social media all the time. But looking at them now, after everything that happened, they do not feel random anymore. Whatever the private reality of that relationship was, the public version was about to get a major upgrade because Joe planned a trip. Tanzania, Zanzibar, one of the most breathtaking destinations on the African continent. The plan was to celebrate Ashlee's 31st birthday in style. Private villas, a wildlife safari at the Serval Wildlife Resort, where rooms run nearly $950 a night. The whole experience. On April 3rd, while they were out in the middle of the wilderness, Joe got down on one knee. He proposed. Ashlee said yes. She posted about it immediately. A video showed her beaming, newly engaged, with a lioness visible in the background. She was glowing. 2 days later, on her actual birthday, April 5th, Ashlee posted what would become her final update on social media. Photos of herself feeding a giraffe, standing beside red and white rose petals arranged to spell out HBD Ashlee. The caption read, "Chapter 31, and I am exactly where I need to be." On another platform, Joe replied with one word, "Me." She responded, "Forever." That was one of the last things she ever posted publicly. What happened next has been reported differently across multiple sources, and the details have shifted as the story unfolded. But here is what we know, confirmed by her family and by Tanzanian police.
The person that Joe McCann, who she was traveling with, that he had found her and that they had taken her to the hospital.
According to North Unguja Regional Police Commander Benedict Mapujira, on April 9th, the couple had a heated argument at the Zuri Zanzibar resort. The dispute escalated to the point where hotel security had to intervene. Staff separated Ashlee and Joe into different rooms. The incident was serious enough that it was reported to the Nungwi police station. After the separation, Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa. She was rushed to a local hospital, where her death was confirmed hours later. Joe McCann told Tanzanian authorities that Ashlee had died by suicide by hanging. He claimed she had used a piece of cloth from her dress to hang herself inside a wardrobe. Let that sit for a moment. A woman who had just gotten engaged, who just turned 31, who had posted hours earlier that she was exactly where she needed to be, who, by every single account from the people who loved her, showed absolutely zero signs of being in that kind of darkness. That is what he told authorities. The family's statement said it plainly. Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. Nothing about this loss feels real. One moment she was celebrating love, life, in truly Ashlee fashion, and the next, she was gone. They described the circumstances as suspicious, and they said word for word that the questions surrounding her passing remain unanswered. Now here is where things get even more troubling. In a CBS News interview that aired on April 14th, Ashlee's parents, Endris and Harry Robinson, revealed key details about the timeline. According to them, Joe McCann did not contact the family until roughly 11 hours after the incident. And even then, her parents said they ultimately learned about Ashlee's death from the hotel, not directly from Joe. Let that sink in. The man who proposed to her, the man she called her forever, did not pick up the phone to tell her family she was gone. The hotel did. And while her parents were processing the worst news of their lives, Joe McCann was still active on social media. His last post on X, formerly Twitter, was from April 8th, discussing an AI-related business matter. No rest in peace, no statement, no grief, nothing. Just business as usual. People went and looked at his social media. And what they found only deepened the questions. His online activity showed no acknowledgement of Ashlee's passing whatsoever. The contrast between her page, filled with photos of him, declarations of love, celebration of their relationship, and his page, where she simply did not exist, was striking. Some observers also noted associations on his social media with content that raised additional concerns, though those claims remain unverified and under discussion online. The moment word got out, the internet moved fast. Ashlee's close friend and PR specialist, Savannah Britt, went straight to X and did not hold back. Her post read, We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiancé Joe McCann claims she hung herself. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now. That post cracked everything wide open. It went viral almost immediately. Because here's the thing about social media in cases like this. When the people closest to the victim start speaking, the public starts listening. And what Savannah was saying matched what everyone who knew Ashlee was already feeling. This did not fit. None of it fit. The family followed up with a formal statement shortly after. They described Ashlee as someone who was vibrant, full of life, deeply loved. A woman with so much still ahead of her. They talked about the engagement, the safari, the birthday. They called it what it was supposed to be, her dream trip. And then they said this. At this time, there is an active investigation into the circumstances surrounding Ashlee's suspicious passing. Suspicious passing? Those were the family's words. So let us talk about what the official investigation actually looks like, because this is where things get frustrating. As of now, Tanzanian authorities have classified the case as a suicide based on preliminary findings. Police Commander Mapujira stated that no foul play is suspected, but here is the critical detail. No official autopsy results have been released publicly. No toxicology report, no independent forensic examination has been confirmed. Ashlee's body remains in Tanzania, pending further examination before being returned to the United States. Reports about whether Joe McCann was arrested or detained have been conflicting. Some sources, including IB Times, reported that authorities took him into custody in connection with the case, but that no formal charges were filed. Other outlets stated there was no confirmed arrest beyond initial questioning. As of now, no charges have been publicly announced, no court date, nothing on the official record. And this brings us to a much bigger issue that goes beyond just Ashlee and Joe. Americans who die abroad rarely get the justice their families deserve. That is not pessimism. That is the pattern. Foreign jurisdiction, limited embassy authority, investigations that move slow or do not move at all, families left to fight from thousands of miles away with no real power and no real answers. The U.S. Embassy was involved in Ashlee's case, but their role is limited when a death occurs on foreign soil. They do not lead the investigation. They cannot force anything. What they do is provide consular services, helping with the repatriation of remains, acting as a bridge between the grieving family and local authorities, and monitoring the investigation to make sure due process is being followed. That is the ceiling of what they can do. Ashlee's family is in that position right now. They released a statement. They asked for trust in the Zanzibar officials. They are navigating unimaginable loss from a distance, and doing it with a grace that most of us could not manage. So where does that leave things? An unconfirmed arrest, a preliminary suicide ruling that the family disputes, no autopsy made public, a police-confirmed argument before her death, a man who waited 11 hours before contacting her family, and a woman who, by every account from the people who knew her best, had absolutely no reason to take her own life. This channel does not tell you what to believe. That is not our job. Our job is to lay it out and let you sit with it. But when a woman is gone and the person closest to her cannot find one moment to acknowledge her publicly, cannot pick up a phone to call her mother, cannot pause even for a second to say her name that says something, that says everything. Ashlee Jenae, 31 years old, Philadelphia born, Miami built, a woman who bet on herself, literally, and won, who grinded her way into rooms most people only dream about, who appeared in a Drake music video and built a brand from nothing, who deserved to come home. Chapter 31 should have been a beginning. Instead, it became the last thing she ever posted. Rest in peace, Ashlee Jenae. We are watching. We are not forgetting. Now here is where I want to hear from you. Do you think the preliminary suicide ruling should be accepted? Or does the family have every right to push for a full independent investigation? And what responsibility does the United States government have when American citizens die under suspicious circumstances on foreign soil? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to Celeb Blindspot, because trust me, the next one is even crazier.